What's up, guys? We're back for another video, and for this one we want to start a new series that we're going to call The Tales of Hefty and Lefty, which is basically where all we're going to do is we're going to share a bunch of funny stories of our experiences in life and things that we've done, and it should be a funny time. So we're going to start off today. Today's topic is going to be fast food experiences. Now, for me, I worked at 4 different fast food restaurants in my lifetime, and it has slowly gotten worse and worse over time, because don't ever work fast food. That's all I'm saying. Don't ever work fast food.
Well, I mean, first job, most people work fast food.
Yeah. Get out of it as soon as you can. If you have to work fast food, get out of it as soon as possible.
You do not want to be the 40-year-old.
Go to college. Don't work fast food your whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
Try not to.
So I'm going to start us off here with one of the stories that I have. So for me, my first job, I worked at Taco Bell in my hometown, Greensburg, Indiana. And it was absolute garbage. So, it was so bad. I worked mostly drive-through most of the time. And so I got a couple funny stories about the drive-through. There was this car that came through with 2 ladies in it. And it was just, what happened, what she said to me just like blew my mind, because I didn't know like people do this shit. So I was working the drive-thru window, and I'm taking an order while this lady's sitting in the car. And as I'm taking an order, she starts knocking on the window, trying to get my attention. So I politely put my finger up and say, "I'll be with you in just a second." And then I continue taking the order. Once I'm done with the order, I open the window and I start to take her money. And as I'm taking her money, she looks at me and she says, as serious as she can be, "You need to get this order out as soon as possible." And I was like, "We're getting it as soon as we can. I'm so sorry about the wait." And she goes, "No, you don't understand. I'm on house arrest and I need to get going." She's like, "I'm supposed to be back at the house in 5 minutes. And
really bad time for a Taco Bell run.
Yeah. She comes through saying, "I need to be back in the room in 5 minutes, or back at the house in 5 minutes." She says, "I live 6 minutes away."
You gotta get your priorities straight, though.
We had barely started on her food, too. She got a huge order, and we had barely started on her food. And she's just like, "You need to hurry." And I was like, "Man, we're going to get it out as soon as we can, but I cannot promise that you're going to be back in time. You might want to take this up with your parole officer, probation officer, whatever." And so I closed the window on her, and I walk away from the window because I knew her food wasn't going to be done for at least another like 3 minutes. So I walked back to my manager who was working the food line, and I go, "The lady asked me to come back here and tell you that she needs the food rushed because she happens to be on house arrest." And my manager looks at me with the biggest eyes I've ever seen, and she goes, "What'd she say to you?" And I was just like, she just explained what was going on, or when she needs to be back and everything. And she was like, "Did she threaten you?" I was like, "No, it didn't get that intense."
I mean, she is technically a criminal. I mean, hey, you gotta...
I didn't check her criminal background.
Again, you need priorities. Do you value your freedom or your Mexican food?
Not Mexican-inspired American
there
food.
You go.
That's what it technically is. That's what they say in the training video, at least.
Those tacos and those fresh corn tortillas,
Yeah, so...
might get a couple extra years on your prison sentence.
It might be worth it. But moral of the story, guys, Taco Bell's not worth going to jail. Yeah, so we end up getting her food out to her, and as I'm handing her food out, she looks at me and she goes, "Thanks." And I said, "Thank you. Have a nice day." And I shut the window and I walked away.
Wonderful.
That was basically that experience for you.
All right, here's Terry's turn here. All right, so the only real job I've ever had was like the McDonald's.
Ooh.
I worked at McDonald's.
Ooh.
Like the start of junior year, I did my orientation like the day before I started school for junior year. It sucked. I only worked there for a month. It was, everybody there hated me.
I don't blame him. I hate you too.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so they were incredibly mean. They'd explain like nothing to me. They would just get angry at me for random things. Like, hey, go mop up the floor. Not that much.
They got mad at you.
They got
about
mad at
the
me.
amount?
Like, no good daddy, no good daddy. And
What kind of accent is that?
don't worry about it. We wanna stay within the YouTube policy guidelines and not throw hate towards any particular race or group. I love all of the groups in the races. Moving on. So yeah, no one really liked me there. So I guess I could tell you the story of, or there's this one really weird guy worked there who's like 40 years old, and he was really quite how would I say, hefty, as I believe you are familiar with.
So you're still gonna call me out for being fat?
I mean, that's your title of the program, the channel. That's your business venture, right?
Yeah.
Right. And
Sure, we'll go with that.
yeah, so he knew my sister because my sister also used to work at McDonald's, but she quit. She wouldn't tell me why. She just said it sucked. And so he walks up to me and he goes, "Hey."
That's it. Just
No,
just blank stare.
no. He stared at me for a while. He's like, "Are you Shannon's brother?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hi, I'm Hank. Nice to meet you." And he went on. He went on to offer me various things like his shoes, his slacks, a place to live, even. And I was just like, you know what? I'm 16. I have shoes, and I'm not gay.
Not that we hate gays.
We love them. Anyways, okay, moving on. I can talk about the day that I quit, or like, well, kind of quit. So, I take Adderall for school, and it was like the 20 milligrams, and my doctor also said that I could take a little bit afterwards for work. And this was the first time I ever was trying to do that, so I took 20 of an extended release, and then I was supposed to take 5 milligrams of the instant one.
Thanks for sharing everything.
We
need to know.
They have to know.
They didn't need
They
to
have
know.
to.
You could have just said I take Adderall for school and then left it at that.
Shut up. Anyways, so I take it. I take the 5, and as I'm going to work, I'm starting to feel very bad, like probably throwing up. Like I can't string the sentence together. I can't do anything. So I'm just sitting there like pressing down the meat press to get the patties ready, and just like flipping them, seasoning, and I'm just sitting there like this, putting it in the tray. And my manager walks up and he goes, "You okay, Terry?" I'm like, that's all. I couldn't say anything. And so he said, "All right, well, I'm gonna let you take a break." And so I went out, got something to eat, take a break, and then I text my dad, pick me up, and he picked me up, and I never came back.
You just
In the middle of my shift, I just left.
he just walked.
Just walked out. Nope. I was done with it. And he called me back like an hour later. He goes, "Where'd you go?" Wait, you can't do that, man. You can't just leave.
Did he tell you were fired?
No, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't want to say that. I don't like it. There's some people, they're mean. And he goes, he's like, "Listen, man, you can work back in the sink. You can work with the sinks. Back in the back, away from the people you don't like." And I'm like, okay, yeah. Never called him back. And so that is my only work experience.
No, I worked 3 jobs, or 4 jobs, and the one I'm working now is complete trash, but you know, there's nothing really funny about it. It's just, it's basically like mental abuse.
Do they call you fat, Bryce?
Sometimes they do.
They call you fat.
Yes.
Do they call you Tubbo Bryce?
No, they don't call me Tubbo Bryce. They just call me.
Do they hang
Fat.
hot dogs in front of your face to taunt you?
We don't sell hot dogs.
Do they buy hot dogs from other places and then hoist them in front of you?
No, that's never happened.
It's never happened.
Nope.
I think I'm going to get a job at Subway, ladies and gentlemen.
Never work at a Subway unless.
I mean, I was just going for the joke here.
No,
So
don't work at a Subway unless you know the manager and you know that there's someone that's very likable, because otherwise you'll just be making sandwiches and wishing you were dead. So.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is our first episode of what's the episode title?
The Tales of Hefty and Lefty.
Goodbye. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and all the such.
Excuse us a moment while we figure this out. Get back in the car! Oh, shit. We're gonna have to edit that out.
This is not my phone or my car, so